for the media, for TV, for our fans, for our parents, and for our players, because we scored 109 points. For the coaches, there were some disappointments defensively, and yet I'd be remiss if I didn't start out, and I mean this, so write it. Greg Campy's a hell of a coach, not because he's a friend. It doesn't matter if we're 1 in the country, if we're 5 in the country, if we're 25 or if we're 105. Doesn't matter if they're real good or very average. I tell my team every year it's going to be a dogfight because he just does a hell of a job. His zone was very good, the way they played it. I'm not sure that guys will shoot the ball that good again, but Williams was unbelievable. We actually did a pretty good job on Moore. I mean, he still ended up 5 for 7, still ended up with 26 points, but we did a decent job on him. We didn't foul him on things, but, you know, our three-point defense and our dribble penetration were atrocious. So from a coaching standpoint, there's going to be a lot to go over, some disappointments. On a strong point of a coach, we went into halftime and nobody was very happy, and our kids responded. I think that was positive. Aaron and Josh took over a little bit, started talking about we got to guard better. You know, it still comes down to 2. We're playing a zillion guys, and it's not going to just end, but it's going to start shrinking a little bit. I think Julius Marble's proving that he can do some things. We got to get him more time. We wanted to get Monty some time. And that big body is, I think, going to be useful. And yet we're not giving up on anybody. Kithier got in foul trouble early and things like that. But I was very pleased with Aaron Henry other than the turnovers. I thought he did. He drove it. He had some great threes that were just hair short. He made his first one, got to the line, didn't rebound quite as good, but just the turnovers. Rocket, you know, got in foul trouble and struggled a little bit there. But Josh Langford, I thought maybe defensively and offensively is starting to look better and better. I didn't think we got Joey Hauser enough shots. Part of it was the way they took away the middle. He couldn't get him the ball. But we got to do a better job on that. And yet Joey still has a double-double. So in general, you know, Gabe Brown shot it really well. Foster came in and backed up, played pretty well. I thought AJ played pretty well. I thought Campy coached better than we did, and I'm saying that not with tongue in cheek. They just did a good job. You know, we had 18 turnovers and 4 steals. They had 11 turnovers and 11 steals. And maybe the one stat I'm still proud of, you know, 39 baskets, getting up 76 shots was great, and only have 32. I have 32 assists on those 39 baskets. And out-rebound them by 20-some. Those were 2 things we had to do, and we did do. We responded at halftime, but we got a lot of work to do. So those of you that think we're somebody yet, we are somebody. We're somebody that needs a lot of work, especially guarding the dribble drive from our forwards to our guards. Because at 6'7", long arms, athletic. Great kid, just a great kid. I mean, he is coming into his own. You know, he's got to get a little better defensively too, but he's starting to get better in a lot of areas. He's getting arch on that shot. He's gotten what he deserves because he does work on it. I mean, coach, take a little credit, not a lot. Gabe deserves a lot of credit because, as you said, he's probably down there now. He does that in the mornings. He does that in the afternoons. He is like a Josh Langford, like, you know, Miles Bridges used to be, or Denzel Valentine. He spends a lot of time in this building, a lot of time on his shooting. And it was nice to see him get what he deserved, and I thought he did. I don't know how he ended up rebounding. Only got 1 rebound, and, you know, those are things we're working on with him. But his production, I didn't think he forced anything. Really happy, proud of Gabe, happy for Gabe because he worked so hard. Exactly right. You know, for Josh, he gets 5 rebounds. He gets 3 offensive. He gets a putback. His defense early was phenomenal. I mean, he was into people. He's running pretty good. You know, I think he's, we're trying to not manage his minutes, but we're just, trying to make sure he just keeps moving forward. And I still say for him and Joey, they're a couple weeks away from getting their feel back. But I thought this is the best Josh has looked. And it's exciting because he made a difference at halftime. He makes a difference on my team. I think he can guard about a lot of different people. And if him and Aaron are really into it, and I think Rocket today, he got a little sideways when he picked up the 2 fouls, meaning it affected him. And we talked about it after the game, but, I think Josh and Aaron are even helping Rocket in that respect. But, yeah, as far as Josh goes, I thought he's getting more comfortable. He's not sitting out of practices. God bless him, man. He's worked and he's earned it, and he's staying healthy. The beauty of it is my assistant, Mike Garland, wasn't real happy. I was calm and collective, but I really liked the way Aaron and players started talking to one another. And, the theory here is a player-coach team is better than a coach-coach team. It's been that way since Cleves started it. And I think they deserve a lot of credit. They knew they weren't, covering the way they should. They also know the kids from Oakland hit some shots, but they vowed to do a little bit different, get the ball reversed side to side a little bit more, which they did, get our running game going a little bit, which we did, and try to lock up a little bit better defensively. I guess we did a little better. We didn't do a great job of that, but God, they made some shots too. So, I thought the halftime speech wasn't a Newt Rockne. It was the players, and that impressed me. I'm glad you noticed because we're just starting. We've got a bunch more going up. What I wanted to do is look at the people that have either been here and left or been here and died, I hate to say, from my father to DJs that have been instrumental in my life. So I'm paying for those. Those are from me, and we've got some things of our former coaches going up. By next week, we should have a couple rows and different things. And I want to keep remembering, we're going to have a thing of hopefully the 2 championship teams. We're going to have something of all the great players that were honored. We got bigger fat heads for them. It's just trying to get all this thing coordinated. David Thomas, poor kid, has been going nuts. But by next week, Big Ten time, I think we're going to have a lot done down there. And it means a lot to me. It really does mean a lot to me because there's so many people, so many players, first of all, and we're getting more and more players that we're going to have there. But so many people, and some of them have either been sick or died or been with me for 25, 30 years. And so there's a reason for a lot of them, but there's going to be more. There's more coming. But they're not, there are more people that a lot of them have passed on. A lot of the former head coaches, the Gus Kanakises of the world, and I even tried to get somebody, that like George Webster and Bubba Smith, they'll be coming because those guys meant a lot to Michigan State. Kirk Gibson's battling something right now. And so we're trying to get a guy from each sport too. And believe it or not, I'm glad you noticed because it's been one of the things that David and I have talked about. I brought up the idea. We're going to get a couple rows. We're going to spend some money of our own and enjoy all the people that helped me. I mean, we've got one of the nicest arenas in the world, and our people have done a great job. And I'm hoping in the next week and a half, it even looks a lot better than it looks now because we got some things planned. I've been a guy that usually sits my guys, and I just said that, Rocket's athletic enough that he can achieve it. So I told DJ, we're going to have to play him. And, again, I'm thinking of the future and see if he can be smart enough to play his way through some of this. So we did, and we got him in there for a while. And it was a good lesson for him to learn now. And got one cheap one, and he just can't do that. But I thought Rock handled it really well. And it was, a decision that was made between DJ and I would take responsibility. But I did what I wanted to do, and if it didn't work out, I'd have to own up to it. But it was good to see Rocket do that. And I think at times over the years, I think of some of the guys that I sat maybe too long, but it's a lot of times because you don't know how the game's being called and what's going on, and especially if you get on the road and there's fans in the stands. Maybe it was a little different because there weren't those people in the stands. The ones that were in the stands weren't talking back to me, so it was pretty cool. But Aaron and Josh did a better job in the second half. And I think we got Joey the ball a little bit more. When we came down, Rocket, we started passing it just to get that zone moving, where the first time we came down. So maybe that was an error on our part of coaching it, because I thought we did a much better job the second half of moving the ball to start it out. We told Rocket, when you come down, let's get it moving before Joey gets in the high post, because they were taking him away. So, I think Josh is right. I got two very experienced guys, and him and Aaron on each wing. And Joey's one of my more cerebral guys. And we got to use those guys a little better than I did. We got a little sloppy. We quit running our break, and that's what zone teams do to you sometimes. When we hit the middle, we kept dropping to the corner. The corners were wide open. And anytime we moved the ball 3 times, we thought we got a really good shot. And it wasn't that we took bad shots, but a good shot could be a better shot with a little more passing. And I thought we did that the second half.
Thank you.
Really happy that Josh got 10 shots up. I think him and Aaron still, and this is part of Aaron realizing now that he's a scorer. He's one of our first options, where last year he was our third option. And he's got to be ready to shoot. I think Joshua's got to be ready to shoot. Joshua early in his career was always ready to shoot. And then sometimes I thought took bad shots. Now I'm trying to tell him he's got to be ready to shoot and shoot it. He shot up 1 air ball 3, but I was really pleased with the shots he took. I thought he could even have taken a few more, but if we can get him 10, 12 shots, I feel really good that he's going to shoot 50%. What impressed me today, his defense was maybe the best of anybody on our teams. And he got down, he got after it. He's become a much better passer for some reason. He's thrown some great passes. I think Josh could be one of, I think Aaron's a pretty good all-around player. Josh probably shoots it even better. And if he stays healthy and he's moving his feet today, first time he went in an offensive rebound. We've been talking about him rebounding. I think, as he said, in the back of his mind, you haven't done it for 2 years. And I think he's starting to feel more and more comfortable. And because of that, I think Josh is just going to take off. I really do, if we can keep him healthy. And there's been no worries so far. But he's starting to be a coach on the floor, on the bench. God, am I glad he came back. We're trying to add a game, big time. I mean, I'd like to get one Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And I guess we've got permission here. We can't go on the road. And the problem is we got to find teams that don't have finals this week. And some teams are starting conference play. And poor KP, he's been in a cave for 3 months between football and basketball. And I'm going to keep him in there for a couple more days so the mad scientist can come up. I think he's making up a university right now just so he can get a game. But he's going to do the best job he can do tonight, and tomorrow will be critical on that. I just think it would be important to play win, lose, or draw just to get us more and more experience, get Josh and Joey more time, get Rock a little more time at the point, get some of our subs of centers in there to play. So we're working on a couple different things. We're not holding anything back. The minute we know, you'll know. You will talk to me again. I'll have a press conference in a couple days, I'm sure. But as soon as we get some information, I promise you we're going to share it, because there's nothing to hide on this. And we've got some different options of ways, directions we could go. But it's just not easy right now. And being finals week makes it harder. And we're going to do the best we can do.